on to our next one. We've got the Cleveland Browns traveling into Baltimore to take on the Ravens. Hunter, what do you think?
This one's also interesting. The Ravens have now had two blowout wins. They blew out the Lions, and then they just went out and they blew out the Seahawks. Two teams where before the Ravens had crushed them, people were penciling in as one of the top NFC teams. I've even heard Super Bowl contenders for both the Lions and the Seahawks, and not that like people are like going back on that, but they're definitely questioning it a little bit more after how they were exposed by this Ravens team. Both of these teams have great defenses. On my pod yesterday that I just released, I said that the AFC North across the board, I think, is the toughest division in football right now. Just based off of every single team in that division could sneak into the wild card right now. Do I like the Steelers? I mean, I don't know, like whatever. But what I'm trying to get to is both these teams have really prolific defenses. They're super fun to watch. They can get to the quarterback. Myles Garrett's been going absolutely insane. I mean, the Ravens defense, we've seen what they did. I mean, what's impressive about what they've done with their blowouts is not even that their offense is able to put up 30 or however many points. It's that their defense is holding these teams with offenses who aren't bad to like 10 or less points, which is hard to do in the NFL. So I think it's really hard for me to go against what the Ravens are doing. Like, it's really hard for me to be like, oh, the Browns are going to upset them. But I think it's going to be a closer game that some will think, just because this Browns defense will keep them in it. Obviously, last time they played, Cleveland wasn't really able to hang with them. But I think it'll be a closer game than last time, but I'm going to have to give it to the Ravens. They're just too hot right now.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a 6-point spread here, which, it's I think I doubted that when they went against the Seahawks last game, but they completely, blew them out there. So I'm with you. Deshaun Watson, he's been looking pretty shaky this season. Great. You had a good last game against the Cardinals, no biggie there, whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, now you're going against, the number one, sack team in the Ravens. They get to the quarterback. They'll be able to get that pressure on. Yeah, a good line there with the Browns, but yeah, they're going to get pressure there. Their pass defense has been impeccable. Roquan Smith, he's been playing really well too. Myles Garrett, a lot of people are saying he's one of the top, I guess, defensive player of the year type of candidates out there. And, rightfully so. The Browns defense has been, I think, number one probably in the NFL. I mean, right there with the Ravens and, maybe the Jets. I don't know. But yeah, Ravens, the offense has been humming. This is at home too. That sort of could play a factor. So, Lamar has been playing pretty serviceable and, is, I think, odds on favorite to win the MVP here as well. So I got to go with Lamar. I think and the Ravens. I might go with the over here. I think they might be able to get some turnovers against Deshaun Watson and their offense over there.
Yeah, I'd love to, take the contrarian view here and go with the Browns, but I think it's going to be a clean sweep across the board. Just with how the Ravens have been playing, like you guys are talking about, taking it to the Seahawks, blowing out the Lions at home. I mean, they're playing a different level of football right now, and they do it on both sides. I just feel like the Browns, it's hard to know what you're going to get from Watson week in, week out. He's had obviously injury concerns here. The running game is a little bit depleted from where it was at the start of the year. It just, I think the Browns will be a competitive team this year, but they're kind of like the Jets in a lot of ways to me. I mean, I feel like they can be a little bit one-dimensional in that sense. I mean, I think they have greater upside on offense, but it's just like things haven't clicked to where they need to click in order to be, a top contender in the AFC, even in the NFL. I mean, if they get in somehow into the playoffs, I think they're, more or less looking at a wild card spot, maybe, a 6-7 seed at this point. But, on the road in Baltimore when they're playing hot, I don't know, just feels like Baltimore's going to win this one. I like the fact that Baltimore's got Keaton Mitchell in there too, like just somebody they had high hopes for. I think he just missed the IR earlier on in the year, but like bringing some really top end speed, to that offense, in the backfield, kind of pairing with the bruiser that is, the Gus Bus. And yeah, man, they've got a lot of weapons to go to this year, unlike others. So yeah, give me the Ravens, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it, honestly.
We're just gonna move on. All right, good.
I mean,
in our next one, we got the San Francisco. Go ahead, Wayne. Go ahead. You got anything else to say?
no, not at all. Actually, I think that about covers it. Yeah.
All right, good. Yeah.